Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the 9:10 Sunday morning Qigong class. Probably that's my world record of really bad timekeeping. Apologies. I had a lie-in. Well, I didn't have a lie-in. I just felt I didn't wake up, basically. I didn't know. Technically, a lie means you wake up and lie in. I just woke up 10 minutes ago. So never mind. Here we are, a bit rough and ready to start the morning feed. So thank you very much for joining me. And without further ado, we can start our lovely Sunday morning class. I braved it into gym top this morning. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again, but anyway, here we all are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I did actually. I did need a good sleep. I've been sleeping a lot recently because I've been going through my own little healing journey going on with my little adhesions down here, which seem to be making a fantastic recovery thanks to Qigong. So I too, if anyone new today, to say Qigong is life force practice. Regular, start shaking please. Life force practice. And the idea is if you are low in life force, you are going to feel cracked and broken and empty and exhausted. Okay, and then what happens is as you start doing these exercises, we treat each gong, which is a practice is a gong. Each practice is a marble that goes into your jar. And slowly but surely it builds and builds and builds and builds. And with this building, you're going to start to feel more energized. Your signs and symptoms are going to start feeling better. Just generally the whole shebang is just going to feel a whole lot better. So we start with some basic principles of health, which is the body likes to purge and nourish. It likes to purge out that which doesn't serve it and nourish it with good. This is oxygen, vibration, happiness, endorphins, smiles, vibrations and sounds, as well as, of course, the lovely community spirit that we all have when we're doing this class together, which is so life. There we go, perfect timing. Well, isn't the world a wonderful thing of synchronicity? So what we do at the beginning of the class is we just start to shake out things which have kind of settled overnight, things which have settled over life. I mean, certainly in the case of the front of my thighs, that's been settled there for a heck of a long time. So it's taking many, many gongs to get it down, although working. Hurrah, hurrah. So it does work. It's a slow, gentle practice. Yang Sheng, which is what I will talk all about, is grassroots. Okay, it's not some silver bullet that comes whacking in to kind of change like a nuclear bomb into the body. That's not how healing works. Healing is slow, gentle nurturing. So imagine yourself like a garden. Imagine yourself needing a lot of care and attention in order to kind of nurture it back to life. That's what we're doing with the bodies. And the practice starts with these simple exercises that we do together every day. And then we build on. We build the 12 rivers. There's the next sequence, and there's a sequence after that called heaven and earth. And then there's a sequence after that, which is the animals. And then once you've got the whole lot together, we can start doing all sorts of interesting things. And indeed are going to start doing some interesting things. I'm not allowed to say exactly what they are. But in 2 weeks' time, I will be able to tell you. And it's good. Right, so really get your shake on, shake. Really, I need to shake my middle like that. Because I've got an adhesion, it's right there. You need to get it. There, that gets it out. Just shake into your body. You don't need to do this weird shake I'm doing. And then we can get tapping. Just tap your sides for a minute. Use this to tap your belly. I'm dangling a carrot, I know. Actually, I'm just going to open a window. Keep tapping, guys. It's a bit hot today. I am dangling a carrot, but it's a good carrot. It's a good carrot. It means more Qigong, more stuff, more interest, more information, more healing, more, in a really good way. Just tap. We'll start with our abdomen today, why not? Just tap. If you don't have a tapper, this is absolutely fine. We're just using our hands. No, it's nice here today. Gorgeous. It's been wet, but so nice. So don't worry about what's coming in 2 weeks. Let's live in the moment. Suffice to say that if you're on this class and on this journey and you're enjoying it, then this is the place to be, because we are going to be offering you very soon. So just start with this. We're all on our journey of 10,000 miles. And we're not even on our single step. If this is your very first lesson, this is your first step, okay? But if you're on Gong number whatever, anything beyond Gong 1, Gong meaning practice. Now, if you have a tapper, please use it. We're going to tap, tap, tap. So you're going to find that the extensions we're going to be offering you very soon are going to be great. Brilliant, I love it. Everyone who's got their tappers, they're doing their 12 rivers. I was with some friends yesterday and they done their 12 rivers. And we're saying how brilliant it is and how much it's helped them. And how you just plug that on top of this. You just do this. And then when we finish the class, you just add that 12 sequence at the end. The idea is this class works generally, okay? We're getting all over the body. I'm teaching you all the general stuff that you need to know. We're working on the basic principles of health. Purge and nourish. Free flow of circulation and blood. We work with the 3 treasures. Ooh, what are they, you say? I know, interesting, eh? Well, there's 2 translations for the 3 treasures. Because, of course, everything in Chinese is traditionally was shown as characters. And the characters could have multiple meanings simultaneously. Breathe. Oh, my body just took a breath. And just if you're tapping and your body goes, oh, that's the practice. That's it. It wants the air going in. There's obviously a little blockage. It's really good to tap your head. Let's just give a bit of attention today. If you don't have a tapper, that's fine. Just tap like this, tap like this. I used to tap like this. You could tap with your fingertips, so no problem. It's really good. Tapping the head. Oh, it's so good. It's good if you get cysts, headaches, foggy head, memory, lack of energy. So good for your body. Sorry about the rubbishy weather, guys. We've got great weather here today. Any consolation, it rains in Somerset all the time. I never owned a pair of wellies until I came to Somerset. I simply didn't need them in London. Now I've got loads of them. Wellies, wellies, wellies. Mr. Brindle insists that the rainfall here is no greater than London. I would beg to differ by looking at Mrs. Brindle's wardrobe. It's very much rainwater stuff. Anyway, the 3 treasures. Let's not talk about the weather. Let me tell you something interesting that you didn't know. So the 3 treasures in Chinese medicine. So we've got purge and nourish, which is the basic. You want to purge out what you don't want, nourish in with what you do. That makes sense. You need your circulation, to just smooth flow of qi and blood around the body. That's what we're doing at the moment. We're making sure it's smooth and getting it flowing around the body. That's the next thing you need to know. Right, what's the next thing? There's 3 treasures to the body that you need to treasure. Jing, which is your constitutional essence, which is basically your constitution. It's also your sex hormones, like sperm. So if young boys are kind of overdoing it, shall we say, in that department, it's not good for them because every time they're emitting jing, they're weakening their very life force energy. That's why, actually, I bet they'll say that, I'll get told off. But yeah, anyway, that's very interesting in itself. And women lose their jing largely through pregnancy. Now, that used to be a major problem because, of course, in the old days, women used to have like loads of kids. So it's not such a big deal these days. But the problem that we have now is that we don't recover properly after we give birth. We just sort of sent home and we're sort of told to get on with it and lose weight and kind of just snap back into shape and just deal with it all. That's where we lose our jing. Not to mention the fact that life is crippling of our energy now because, of course, we work, we do everything. So in order to be equal, which is great, we kind of work and do the house stuff. And so in the old days, you know, one of you would do the house stuff and one of you would work. Now both of you are doing everything. And that's crippling our jing. That's one of the reasons we're all in such a state, because everyone's completely stressed and it's not healthy. And also women's bodies are not designed to work like that, kind of from 9 to 5 or 9 to 7 all day long. It's because of the hormones of the bodies fluctuating. We're better off kind of in a more domestic situation. Doesn't mean staying at home, but we're better off not being out of the house all day long. It doesn't suit our body types in the same way. That does not mean we should all be skivvying around in the house, but it does mean that with the internet and all these new businesses that are arising as a result of us working online, that's great for us because we can do it from home. And indeed, my company's mainly female, and they've all loved working in lockdown from home. They're all like, oh my God, can we stay like this? Because it suits the energy of the body better. And so, of course, that's what we're doing. So it's really good. So that's your Jing. And then you have your Qi, which is what we're doing now, Qigong, which is the energy of the body. and then what they call the Shen. And the Shen is all the healing stuff that we do with the vibrations and the healing sounds, because the Shen is the emotional state of the body, and it's carried in the blood, which is why it's so important to look after and nourish the blood in Chinese medicine, and why the blood flow is so crucial, and eating healthily, because the blood carries the Shen, and the Shen is what shines in your eyes. Like when you see me happy and excited, it's kind of like beaming out at you. Or if someone's kind of sad and it's like that, that's the Shen shining through their face. It's their soul. But it's carried in the blood. It's carried in every single cell of the blood and controlled by the heart. So that's why when we do healing sounds, the heart's divided with 2 sounds, not just one, because it's got the responsibility of being an organ and doing what it has to do, and it's got its responsibility to the movement of the Shen around the body. So those are your 3 treasures. Fascinating stuff. Let's just tap our bums and our backs. Don't tap your kidneys, just tap down there. Tap your upper back. Tap your spine. Breathe. Now, if you don't have a tapper, that's fine. Tap here. This is a really good spot. Just there. If you don't have a tapper and you get back problems, that is the place to go. It's really good, just pummeling the shoulders. And take it down. We've done our head, so we just go down. Breathe. And just twist. First time joining. Congratulations. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So you've missed the little cracked pot discussion at the beginning, but the idea of Qigong is it means life force practice. It's going to give you energy. These are the first step of your journey of 10,000 miles. We do these exercises every morning. They're like your daily exercises, the daily 10, okay? Yeah, the treasures is good, isn't it? There's a bit more on treasures in a second. Oh, lion breath, thank you. Right, sorry, I forgot the lion breath. Right, so it's still it's okay, we're in the right side of the house. Thank you. I'd gone off on my 3 treasures. Right, breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Just remembering, you guys, sometimes I forget, but I get reminded. Thank goodness. So just to say, just to have a little recap, when you start the Qigong practice, let me just give you this. Everyone else keep tapping, please. When we start Qigong, this is how we feel: empty and broken. Just like, oh, okay, we've got no energy, okay? Energy is life force. It's the very thing that makes you alive, okay? And the Qigong practice is literally adding 1 marble at a time. 1 marble at a time into that jar, and every day, slowly but surely, it starts to fill in and help you, okay? So that will just give you what we're doing. We start with this exercise, and then what we do is I ask you to follow someone called Aaron_Qigong, because he will teach you the next step, okay? But start with me, okay? Right, so the lion breath is good for getting the stale air out of the bottom. Here, let's just linger on that for a minute, because when you just breathe without thinking about breathe. You're kind of up here and sort of not thinking about it. You've got to breathe down here. This is where the energy centre of the body is. And you've got to get stale air out from the bottom of the ribs, because it's just sat there congealing, not doing you any favours. So gets it out. And of course, that's a major purge, because of course the body can eliminate via the mouth. And remember, when you're purging, I know it sounds a bit gross, but what the body wants to do, just keep tapping whilst I tell you this, what the body wants to do with things it doesn't want anymore is get rid of them, okay? And the easiest way to get rid of them is via the lungs. That's why we have the common cold, okay? Bodies get rid of things through the skin, through sweat, through urine, through faeces, through menstrual cycle. That's what we do, okay? And through pus and mucus, and this is what the body does. It's all a bit gross and sniggery, but, you know, we can grow up a bit. We're not at school. This is important. And then, therefore, if we start to get symptoms, it's because the body's overloaded. So like hay fever at the moment, the body's trying to get it all out. like this. It's too much histamine in the body, too much wind heat, basically, that we're trying to get rid of. And that's why everything kind of gets congealed up here. So you want to help it. That's why we gua sha our chest, to get rid of kind of heat out through the chest before it starts to cause problem in the face with rosacea and acne and spider veins. You want to get it down here, okay? You want to get it out with the breath. You want to get it out with tapping, get it out through the lymphatic system. That's why I go on and on about the tapper, because the lymphatic system is the body's system for dealing with kind of overload. That's what it's there for. It's there to kind of mop up the things that circulation can't do. So you help it. If you help your body, you're tapping into the fact that your body is absolutely designed over millions of years to look after itself. It doesn't need anything. It knows exactly what to do. And I think you regulars that have been with me now will recognise that they can see that for themselves, that once you start doing the right thing, the body goes, oh, there we go, great, thanks very much. And then you feel better. And then things happen, like your waist starts reappearing, or you'll sleep a bit better, or aches and pains start disappearing, or your memory sort of sparks up, or you start laughing a bit more. Just everything seems a little bit easier, okay? How do you help night sweats? Hang on a sec. And foot baths. Oh my God, foot baths. I did a foot bath last night. I think that's probably why I slept so well. Let's start with the healing sounds, guys, and I'll do those questions in a minute. So I will do night sweats and foot baths. Okay, right. So there we go. Good morning to Doris. Good morning to new people, and a little bit extra info for regulars. Right, so let's now do our healing sounds. When we're doing these Qigong practices, you heal the body through the spirit and the spirit through the body. There is no such thing as mental health in Chinese medicine. It is all contained in the body, and the organs are responsible. And there are 5 primary vibrational forces in the body responding to the 5 principal organs. And we practice it every single day, and it raises our vibration, and it gives you really kick-ass chi. So let's get started. So we're going to breathe in, we're going to smile, we're going to think courage, we're going to think gratitude, the higher self of the lungs, white, and we're going to tap our lungs, and we're going to go because all of the organs have colours attached to them. It's kind of, that's colour therapy. Strengthens the organs to think of the colour. So we're going to the heart, which is red, which is universal love and joy. Go to the spleen. I'm going to hide where I'm going because it confuses everyone. Go to your left-hand side, and under the ribs. This is under the ribs, okay? And then you take it to your left, and then you tap. And we think yellow, and we think trust, and we think the path of righteousness, behaving with integrity. This is all in the spleen. Thanks, Amanda. Go to your right-hand side now. This is the liver. We're going to think kindness. We're going to think compassion. We're going to think green. We're going to smile. Go to your kidneys, which are here. Think black, think wisdom. I'll do rosacea in a sec. And then up and down your sides. He, think love red. He. And then if you've got a crystal, that'd be great. Don't worry if you don't. If you don't, just use 2 fingers and just go clockwise around and around and around. And we're just, otherwise use a crystal, which someone suggested. A rose quartz would be lovely, but my daughters have just stolen it, so mine's disappeared again. But never mind. We're going to go back over the sounds, just to root them up into our higher selves. I did the kidneys. And just breathe and smile. Now, let's just twist for a sec, just before we go into the laughter, just so that it gives me a chance to just catch up some of the questions. Thank you for my singing voice. It's a bit broken over my car accident that got me here in the first place, but at least it can heal, which is useful. Kidneys we did. Rosacea. Rosacea basically is the heart getting involved in the stress response largely, and what you need to do is catch the heat before it comes up into the face, okay? So therefore you take your gua sha and you would gua sha across the chest, so very much from the heart and across the chest, ideally with the body restore, because you want to catch the heat here before it has a chance to get up here. And then download the heart fact sheet, and of course do Qigong and meditation. Everything, do Qigong and meditation, okay? So that's that one. And extreme weight loss, I'd have to know more about that. I'm afraid I can't give that one over line, because there's going to be more to the reasons as to why. And of course, I'm assuming that you've seen a doctor, because extreme weight loss is a red flag in its own right. So please consult a doctor, which applies to everybody. This advice is freely given in addition and conjunction to Western medicine advice. It is not an alternative. Knee pains, inner knee pains. Well, that's connected to the liver and the kidneys and the spleen. So you want to tap the back of the knees as much as possible, like here. So like here, there, really useful, and all around the knees, and then gua sha, ideally with the comb, I find really good for knee pain. Right, so without further ado, can it cause thread veins? Yes, it can if you're doing it too hard, and if there's reasons as to why you've got thread veins there. So if it's starting to appear, just stop, please, and tap instead. When you meditate, I always get a bad headache afterwards. It's probably because you're releasing things. Use the tapper or the comb after the head, use the comb before and after the meditation. Listen to the singing bowls and stay in the meditation for longer. Right, okay. Let's do our laughter Qigong. So this is, of course, the wonderful way. What we've got now is we've got these lovely vibrations in the body, just kind of like singing and vibrating their way through our chi. So we're going to superimpose very, very strong endorphins into that by laughing. So nice sweats, I'll do it in a sec. Sore red tip of the tongue is too much heat in the heart. So you need to gua sha the heart. Now, the laughter Qigong, of course, is going to elicit all sorts of interesting kind of feelings and thoughts. Some people don't want to laugh. Some people find it easy. Some people find it hard. Right now, I'm finding it a bit spacey. I've been laughing now for 12 weeks solid, and now I've gone into a bit of a healing moment, and I'm a bit like, woo, when I do it. But it's okay, because we're just like laughing and smiling together, okay? You buy all the things on the Hey You Method, which is the brand. If somebody could just give this lady, Punyabad, the link, please, that would be very helpful. All of them are there. Now, having done our lovely endorphins, let's just now get that hooked in. And as we go round, I want you to now go into your inner world, please. And I will talk about night sweats. Why not? Spots, because that's probably the body getting rid of some toxins out of the skin, because you're probably releasing something. Focus on the liver, look at the liver fact sheet, and make sure that you're cleaning up your diet. Look at the austerity, not the austerity, I'm not allowed to call it that. The rebalancing diet plan, which I put there, which is a really very basic kind of simple thing. It's not a nutritionally sort of diet. It's something that I do that I find very helpful when I've slightly overdone it. And that will hope that normally gets the toxicity out. And look at the liver fact sheet. So everyone else now, please. Close your eyes, the half tortoise this, the half tortoise gaze, go to your inner world. I want you to stretch and breathe. I'm going to move all that lovely energy now into every area of the body. And smile and stretch. And twist. So night sweats are caused by, there's too much heat in the body, and the primary balance of the body is defined by yin and yang, which is like hot, cold, male, female, day, night, okay? Action, being and doing. So doing is yang and being is yin, okay? And the problem with our lives is that the age that we're living in right now is really, really yang. We're just on the go non-stop. It's so fast. And I think one thing that we've all realised from COVID is how much things have slowed down and how nice that feels, because we're all having to go at such a pace. It's exhausting. And what that does to the body is it absolutely wallops the yin because it can't cope, and inevitably just makes us really yang focused, and that is imbalanced. And it's kind of not great for anyone, but it's kind of okay when you're younger and if you're male, but it's really bad if you're female of a certain age, because what happens is when the menopause comes in, the body can't get rid of all this heat that's generated as a result of this imbalance, because the yin is cool and it's getting just burned up. It's a bit like the global sort of, environmental issues. And then the yang is just burning. So it's creating all this heat in the body. And what happens is the body needs to get rid of the heat because it's really dangerous. So what it will do is it will get rid of it at night when you're resting, because it's the yin time. And it's the only time that the body's actually got the capabilities to adjust itself in an extreme way in order to cope with whatever it is that you're doing in the daytime every single day. So you will sweat at night like crazy if the body needs to get rid of heat, because it needs to get rid of heat to keep you alive. That's its thing. Go the other way. So, of course, it's terribly inconvenient to us because we're, I've got night sweats. But actually what you're doing is you've got too much heat. So what you've got to do is you've got to clear the heat to prevent it from coming in the first place. So you need to nourish your yin, because your yin's too weak. You need to ease out on the action and the doing. You've got to calm the life down and stop rushing around. And then you've got to basically balance the body by doing meditation, Qigong, taking all heat-forming foods out of the diet, doing all the breath work we talk about, doing the 12 rivers. If it's really bad, go and see Francis Turner, who's the herbalist I recommend, who's amazing, because you normally need a little course of herbs to try and balance it. But, a lot of this can be done with gua sha and tapping and breathing, which is the bit that I'm doing, all the self-care stuff. The stuff I teach is like brushing your teeth. So I'm like the toothbrush. So that's why we get night sweats. That's also why we get menopausal symptoms of whatever they are. It's basically too much heat. And then what happens when you get to the menopause age is that we're getting older, but also you don't have the menstrual flow as an option to release heat. That's the point. The menstrual flow is there as an option for the body to get the heat out via the vagina, basically. And of course that stops happening. So the heat's now in the body. You're like a you're like a kettle boiling without a way to get rid of the heat. So it's boiling inside the kettle and it's going to explode any minute. That's a slight exaggeration, but that is basically what's going on. So that's what we do this for. We've got to cool the body, and we've got to be aware of the society that we live in and really start engaging with what our bodies actually need. Right, so it needs this, trust me. This Qigong is just amazing. Breathe in and up and down. And up. And down. Yes, you get migraines. Hang on. Oops. Got 2 cameras on today. I'm on Facebook, by the way. First time. Hello, everyone on Facebook. And breathe out. So when you get headaches or menstrual problems, let's talk about... So now we've done the menopause. Let's do about period pains. So what's going on? More information. What do you need? There's loads of fact sheets which are available on... linked in the bio. That gives you the diet. That gives you all the organ fact sheets. That gives you the Qigong fact sheet. There's an immunity fact sheet. There's more to come. Breathe out. Menstrual. Let me just do this. Hang on, guys. Breathe in. Breathe out. Thank you for recommending my book. I'm getting to migraine. Hang on. Sorry, my body needs this exercise. Just 2 secs, guys, and I'm going to tell you about migraines and period pains, okay? And breathe out. Thank you, everyone, for recommending my book. That's so nice. Breathe in the other way. Bye, Lorraine. Sorry I was late starting. Breathe out. Anyone who's got my book, I really recommend the reading list at the back. That's your next step. I mean, I've got literally hundreds, probably thousands of books here on Chinese medicine. Literally, I read and I read and I read. I'm obsessed. I travel with a suitcase of books. I'm not joking. I got along. Sometimes I have to go away with Mr. Brindle for work because he has to go to Japan and I get to go with him. Yes. And it's a long old flight. And literally, I've got about 8 books next to me. And he says, "You're never going to read all that." And guess what? I do. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, I'm so glad you love it, guys. Breathe in. It's on Amazon, the audio, which I didn't even know they were doing. I was a bit annoyed about that. I was like, oh, I could have read that myself. Breathe out. Never mind. That's what happens when you go with publishers. They sort of take over. There we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. There. Right, now we're going to do this exercise and I'm going to tell you about period pain, okay, and headaches. So this exercise, you need to be pushing down through your feet and pulling up through your head. So we're doing this. Pull everything in, but relax and smile and breathe at the same time. So we're going to go up, up, up on your tiptoes and push. Up and down. Oops. Go up. I should narrate it. I know, they didn't even ask me to do it. I so would have done as well. I'd have loved doing that. Don't you worry, I'm going to self-publish the next book. I'll be narrating away. There's no escape. To be honest, you get so much of the content anyway, because I kind of speed it all out on these feeds. I mean, there's nothing like the book though, because obviously you like having kind of everything in one place, and it's really nicely written and sort of laid out and stuff. Anyway, right, let's just do the Iron Shirt Qigong, and then I'm going to talk period pain, okay? So when we do this, we have our hands like this. When I say open, we open our hands, and when I'm going like this, it means breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe. Breathe, okay, just keep breathing like a balloon until you literally think, I can't breathe anymore. We're not holding our breath, we're breathing in, okay, because you're powering oxygen into every cell of the body. Like really like, so if the cell's going like that, it's going like that, and that's what you want. Oxygen, number one healing modality to the body. So, read, open, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Wow, 6. Thank you so much. 6, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm coming with the period pains. Right, now that exercise, if you're feeling tired and you haven't got the energy to meditate, that's a really good one to do, because you're basically powering oxygen into the body, and then tap, because then you can tap all that oxygen all over the circulation. So useful. Right, now, no, there's no book coming out yet. What we're doing is we're releasing, if we can, we've got all these fact sheets. I've got 150 fact sheets, which we're all going to go into a book, which I've decided I'm not putting them into a book now. I want to make them available. So they're going to be going up onto the fact sheet page of the website, which you can have for free. And then we might turn them into a book just to make it look pretty, but I'm not sure yet. But anyway, it's just, Jules and I they just need finishing, and we just every week never get around to it. So we've now got a different writer in, called Bridget, who's amazing, and she's going to help me just kind of get them all ready. So we're talking to her next week, so they are coming. And then there's all sorts of interesting things coming come September. So we've got really exciting stuff in July with the Qigong, and then really exciting stuff with the info with me in September. So stick with me, babes. We're all over it. Right, and now we're going to do the swimming dragon. So if you know what you're doing, please start. I'm going to tell you about period pains, headaches, and menstrual problems whilst we do it. New people, basically, you start with your hands in right angles, hip to one side, arms to the other. You will immediately feel a pull, and then you switch sides and really swim. Imagine yourself like a dragon swimming through a current, and you're really working your body. And if you've got any kind of limitations, you can do this sitting down. You can stay just at this level here that I'm at, or you can take it, as we're going to do, all the way down and all the way up. This exercise is a very watery exercise. It really strengthens the chi, works on every single organ of the body. Right now, I'm massaging the whole of my abdomen. It feels amazing. But it does everything. It does your joints, your fascia, your organs, your cells, your everything. So that's enough about this. Just copy me, take it down, and now I'm going to talk to you about period pain. So the periods, right. So what happens is, and I'll get to migraines, bear with me migraines, because you need to know the first bit first. So the liver organ is responsible for the menstrual flow of the body, okay? And the liver is a massive organ on the right-hand side of your ribs at the bottom, okay? And it's arguably, in traditional medicine, they were obsessed with their livers, because the liver is involved with the filtration of the blood and the clearing of toxins, but it's also to do with the smooth flow of chi and blood around the body, i.e. osmosis, okay? Not pumping the blood, that's the heart, but this is the smooth flow. And it's also to do with the menstrual flow. It controls the menstrual flow, and it's very, very heavily involved in the fight or flight response, because it's responsible for anger and defense and that kind of like, and the liver energy needs to flow smoothly, okay? If it doesn't flow smoothly, it gets hot, bothered, and stagnant. And so what the body will do with that hot, bothered, stagnant energy is goes, oh God, what am I going to do with this lot? Given that we get hot, bothered, and stagnant every single day, bit by bit, with traffic lights and annoying things blocking us, especially as women, not being allowed to fulfill our duties in life, or if we are allowed to fulfill them, we're not actually working in harmony with the natural flow of our bodies. We as a generation have been forced to be equal by behaving into the man's world in their way. It's changing now. We are now allowed to behave like women. That's going to make a huge difference to our bodies. But for the generation my generation, sort of 15 years behind me, and anyone in front of me, that has not been the case. We've inherited a man's world which we are in the process of changing. We're the first generation to do it. Not man bashing, just stating the facts. So what happens is when all this toxic heat and sort of stagnant energy and irritation has to go somewhere, the body has lots of different options, okay? And what the body does when you have periods is it will go, oh, I know, I'll whack it in the uterus because it's empty. Because it's an empty space. That's like, it will equally put it into the bowels, into the large intestine. That's why you get irritable bowel syndrome, because it's an empty tube. It goes, oh, there we go, I'll whack it there. And we'll just get rid of it next time she has a poo or next time she has a period. So it just leaves it there. And then when the period hits, it's like all hell breaks loose. Out it all goes. Nightmare. Cramps, blood, clots, horrendousness, migraines. Come to that in a second. You get clumsy beforehand because the liver chi is not flowing smoothly. The liver's at its height of energy because the body is full of blood at that point. The day before the period starts, you're full of blood. Then the release button hits. It's like, and out it all comes, which is often why you feel better afterwards, okay? So that's why you get period pain. It's because the chi of the liver is not flowing smoothly around the body on a daily basis. Now, migraines. The reason we get migraines is what's happening is instead of the body putting all of that stagnant energy into the uterus, in this case, or indeed as well as, depends how bad things are, it will go, well, we're going to do this. Oh, I know, I'll whack it up and out. Up and out. So up. So out, those people get arthritis, okay? It goes down into the limbs and they get spots and acne because it's going up and out via the skin. In the migraine case, it's just going up via the channels into the head and largely by the gallbladder channel, which goes up the sides and then up into the sides of the head here. And the gallbladder is the yin-yang pair of the liver. So the liver, basically, there's a hierarchy of organs in the body, as we know, because the Western doctors will take out a gallbladder and you'll live. Because if they took out your liver, you die. And the body knows this. So the liver, with all this stagnant, irritated energy that it hates, will go, oh, I know, I'll just whack it into the gallbladder channel. And there's junction points along the way where the liver has the capability of whacking whatever it doesn't want into this gallbladder channel. And the gallbladder channel zigzags all the way up the side of the body, up the side of the head. It's a massive channel going like this all the way down. Huge capacity to absorb all this crap that the body doesn't want. And it will just whack it into the head. Because the brain doesn't really feature that much in Chinese medicine. It's all about the body. It's all about the torso. The brain's just like a computer switchboard, just checking, making sure everything does what it does, not the other way around. In Western, we've got it the other way around. In Eastern, it's body controls mind, not mind controls body. Mind is pretty irrelevant to us. Remember the three treasures, Jing, Qi, Shen. Where does the brain feature? Oh, it doesn't, because it's irrelevant. It's all about down here, okay? So in comes the migraine. All it is all the heat up in the head. And the problem is it's got nowhere else to go. You need to release it. So the first thing you need to do is not have it in the first place. So what do? We work preventatively, okay? We work preventatively to ensure that we're not producing stagnant, aggressive liver chi in the first place. How do you do that? Meditation, Qigong, 12 rivers, download the liver fact sheet, practice benevolence and compassion. You've got to practice your breathing. You've got to do the practices. Liver loves these exercises, the ones that I'm doing with you every single day. It will make a massive difference. And then you want to gua sha your lady garden. I'd say 2 or 3 times a week, like this bit, gua sha it, because the uterus is here. So get the heat out through the skin before it has a chance to create mischief. Okay, so do that. And use the comb and comb your head every day. Okay, comb, and use the tap. I haven't got a comb here, but pretend this was a comb. And you just comb. And you do that like to prevent the migraines. Don't obviously do that when you have a migraine, because that will hurt. But do it to prevent. And tap your head as well. Tap your head regularly. So now, have your hands... Oh, hi, Jasmine. Have your... now, so hopefully, did that answer the question? There you go. You've just had your first headache-free period. Woo! I love it. Yes. Good. Now, add the combing, add the tapping into your head, and you will see how much better it is. That is such good news. You see, it's true. So download the liver fact sheet as well, okay? These things are so easily solved if you just know what's going on. Just me telling you that everyone goes, oh my God, I had no idea. I was like, oh, I know. Why do you think I get up every morning to do this class? To tell you, because it's so great. And let me tell you, right, let's just do this for a sec before I get all overexcited. So stretch. The thing is, when I can finally get these fact sheets up, every single one of them has got this kind of mind-blowing content like that, where you go, I had no idea. And yes, I'm sure there'll be Chinese doctors who go, she's oversimplifying it. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe I am. But I'm only oversimplifying it so that you can understand. If I start giving you a whole load of Chinese acupuncture points and herbal concoctions over Instagram, I'm going to confuse the life out of you and you're going to wonder what to do. I keep repeating, the journey of 10,000 miles starts with a single step. Okay, I am the single step. That's my job. To get you onto your journey and to tell you that there is another way. It's this way, okay? And there are loads of amazing experts that sit around me or behind me, not because that I'm better than them, I'm not better than them, I'm just good at the first step. That's my bit, that's my role, okay? To tell you the basic, for you to go, my God, I had no idea. And then, because we live in the information age, you can then get busy and start researching it for yourself. Research Chinese medicine and period pain. Just Google it. In the words of Jules, just Google it, see what comes up. You'll see. They'll start telling you all about needling liver 3 and using dangui as a Chinese herb, which is all great, but I'm not going to sit there telling you to do all that because it's too complicated and you need to start with the basics. And then that's why I recommend the 12 Rivers with Aaron. Please, if someone could just put his hook up, because just follow him and do a couple of his free classes so you'll get the gist, because it's the next step beyond what I do. And then there's always, if you need a herbal remedy, I always love using and recommending Frances Turner. She's amazing. She was my teacher. She's incredible. She really knows her stuff. And she works by Skype now, thank goodness. She didn't. So it used to be a bit of a hassle. You'd have to go to Banbury to go and see her. But now she's accepted the fact she has to work on Skype. She doesn't like it, but she's doing it. Because, of course, traditional diagnosis in Chinese medicine was done by tongue and pulse. But you don't have to worry about that either, because they did, of course, the Chinese doctors use tongue and pulse. I mean, that's what I do. But there's all this other stuff that we didn't know they were doing. Like Qigong. So before, and understanding the symptoms of the body, understanding why in its basic format. That's why we get headaches. It's normally in the modern world, it's the stress response, creating heat in the body going, don't want that, thanks. What am I going to do with that? Oh, I know. I'll send it up and out. And that heat causes problems and manifests as all sorts of symptoms. Acne, rosacea, spider veins, because it's bursting the tip of the capillary. Dry skin, dry bones, weight gain, thinning hair, headaches. All of that, joint pain, is heat. Why? Because our lives are so unbelievably stressed. We work so hard, we're all so frenetic. I've been in clinic for 20 years. That's all I've heard for 20 years is people just basically having to do too much in order to basically stand still. It's ridiculous. And the one thing that COVID has taught us is how relaxed we are actually capable of being. There we go. So just to say, regulars, that once you've done these exercises and you've got the hang of them, the next sequence is what my lovely friend Aaron then teaches, which is called the 12 Rivers. And what that means is that every organ of the body, there's 12 of them, has its own river of chi, and it has its own bespoke movement. And if you can, he does the classes, they're lovely. They take a week. And then you've learnt those moves forever. And then once you finish these exercises with me, you just go on and add an extra sort of 10 to 15 minutes to this class with those more profound movements. If you do that, you've got your hour. And boy, oh boy, you'll be then joining the ranks of all of the other amazing letters and emails and direct messages that we get from people going, I can't believe it. I did Aaron's class and this and this has happened. And you go, oh, I know, isn't it great? There, right. If you just want to grab your tapper, if you've got one. So hopefully that was... Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I love it when the regulars know how to answer the questions when I can't see the screen properly. So there we go. Is it to do your class at 8 and then his at 11? Yes. I would do that, definitely. And then once you finish his class that week, And your husband loves it. Yay! We love getting the guys involved as well. We've got Father's Day coming up soon. So we are going to be doing a promotion for that, which you're going to be hearing about. You're very welcome, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me on this lovely class. I love it. Welcome new people. Remember, Qigong means life force practice. One marble at a time. You are putting a marble in your broken and cracked jar, ready to fill it full of essential life force so that you can feel strong and well and happy and enjoy your life and reduce your symptoms and work grassroots up. So do have a little tap. I hope that was helpful content about menstruation, menopause. Oh, we had it all kicking off today. Menstruation, menopause, what else are we doing? Migraines, and a few other things besides. So thank you all so much. I'll be back at lunchtime to do the lunchtime meditation, and I will see you this evening as well for the live feed. Thank you.